Hello everyone, Attack Power here with another Versus update for the upcoming Tribute to Normandy DLC. This one's a little different. We only have one division here, but this is a highly anticipated division here with 2nd Panzerdivision. Oh, I'm excited for this. I have not read this at all yet, so there's no, everything you hear from me will be my immediate and original reaction, so apologies for any misreads. And if you guys enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit that subscribe for more Steel Division 2 content, and consider checking out that Patreon. Thank you to all current and past Patreon members. It really does help me out. Let's dive in here. Hello, we are back again with a new Versus of our upcoming Tribute to Normandy DLC. The format will now be slightly different, only highlighting one. Why? The main reason is that we started to test each division and modify them. This means the presentation of the remaining battle groups will be a tad slower, excuse me. I'm cool with that. That means they're already like working on it like legitimately, which means this could be out sooner than hoped. Honestly, I would honestly maybe shoot for January. I wouldn't be surprised if this came out sometime in January. They do like to release a January DLC. All right, here we go. 2nd Panzerdivision combat history. The 2nd Panzer Division was one of the 3 original tank divisions created by the Wehrmacht in the mid-30s. With a long and illustrious combat history, it fought in almost all the war's major campaigns. Its first act was under the command of the Blitzkrieg pioneer and Papa Panzer Heinz Guderian, where the tanks took part in the annexation of Austria in 1938. With the start of World War II, 2nd Panzer took part in the invasion of Poland, later in France. In 1941 was used during the invasion of Greece. Like many other German divisions, 2nd Panzer ended up in the Eastern Front. Driving first to Moscow in the winter of 1941 after being beaten back, participating in the Battle of Kursk in 1943 after heavy losses in the USSR, was sent to France to be refitted. 2nd Panzer was one of the armored divisions kept in reserve between Normandy and the Pas-de-Calais, to be released only on the direct orders of German High Command. After D-Day, it took 2 days for von Rundstedt to convince the OKH to move the division to Normandy, and chaos erupted. With Allied fighters and bombers raining free in the skies above and the French resistance groups cutting communications, sabotaging railways, it lasted 3 days before the leading elements of the 2nd Panzer could arrive on the battlefield. These were only the lighter advance units that went into battle, and the heavy armor was delayed further by more than a week. Okay, so already they're implying a serious phase locking here. They're already implying some severe phase locking in this whole thing. Like probably only get like what, Panzer IIIs or something in A phase, and then your Tigers and Panthers in B or maybe even C phase, because this weak thing is, I mean, they're emphasizing that significantly. Fighting was heavy, as were the 2nd Panzer's losses. Shuttling between the British and U.S. sectors, most of the division was mauled during Normandy's combat. Later on, with the German army being encircled, it managed to break out of the fillet pocket, but suffered grievously. A shadow of its former self, 2nd Panzer took part in the Battle of the Bulge. Interestingly, its commander, von Ludwitz, will unintentionally go down in history as the recipient of the famous nuts reply by the 101st Airborne Divisions trapped in Bastogne during the Battle of the Bulge. And that is kind of funny. Forced to retreat, the rest of the Warsaw 2nd Panzer operated at extremely reduced efficiency in Germany itself, with one of its final battles being near Fulda, a place familiar to our Warno fans. Yes. 2nd Panzer Division was featured in Normandy 44. Okay. So, a much feared opponent. The 2nd Panzer Division was one of the most feared divisions in the Western Front, with every movement watched by the Allies. By the time of the Normandy invasion, the division was rested, well-trained, and importantly, at full strength. Oh, that is a good sign. It even had a few hundred spare soldiers and a dozen extra Panzer IVs. An unusual situation at this time. This Wehrmacht division lacked nothing and had access to all the latest toys a Panzer division was supposed to have. Okay, so this is very exciting because as we know, the Axis divisions in this DLC have seemed, at least appeared on paper based on Eugen's not always very reliable descriptions, have seemed to be a little lackluster for the most part. 1 or 2 have potential, but 2 or 3 don't at all. So it's very exciting. A lot of people have been waiting. Every time I post one of these videos, this is the division people comment on, hopefully being phenomenal. So maybe this division will put Panzer divisions back on the map. That would definitely be cool. Being fully up to strength, much like the British Guards, Armored Division 2nd Panzer will have the bare minimum of extra forces attached to it on the battlefield. Will have the what? The 2nd Panzer will have the bare minimum. Oh, that means like, no, they're not calling in other regiments and stuff to like attach to them to beef them up. All right. To be exact, just one extra outside company was part of the division during the Normandy campaign. A distinct feature of this division's very restricted access to air support. Okay. So not a great start there. I mean, if they have a good fighter, then it's probably fine. But I mean, already okay. So we have no air support. All right. That's fine, though. There's plenty of really good divisions that don't have great air support. Well, examples being like 20th Panzer right off the bat would be one. I'm trying to think Allied side. Allies generally have pretty good planes, so it's not. I'm trying to think, like the Western Allies, I should say, have really good planes, so not a lot of them lack horribly in Air Force. But anyway, a more specific mechanic it will borrow from another Allied division is the first U.S. division, bigger one, namely its free veterancy. Oh, hello. Okay. I thought they weren't doing this with anybody else. All right. Throughout its arsenal, there will be an extra level of veterancy without any availability penalty. This reflects that the 2nd Panzer Division was the paragon of the Panzerwaffe. Okay. However, not everything comes for free. As they had to kill it somehow. As the entry into combat in this division was seriously delayed, I called it. Yep. Delayed by the Allied air power, the formation will fight without its heavy equipment in combat phase A. This means it will lack the Panzer IVs, Panther, armored artillery, flak Panzer, etc. Basically, everything fully tracked in the openings. Oh my goodness! So is this like 6th Corporal or like no, really like 6th Corporal, where you don't have any armor in A except for like ridiculously light things? Oh, that's not like the worst. That division's obviously still good. I think like 1st Panzerdivision, but 1st Panzerdivision has plenty of armor in A too. So like it's not like they truly lack in A. They just aren't strong in A phase. And there are plenty of divisions that aren't like, technically 1st Special is not very good in A phase. 1st Airborne, not very good in A phase because, you have no AA and basically almost no tanks, so there's definitely divisions that suck in A phase and just are absolutely phenomenal. So I don't think, especially for free veterancy, I would honestly trade having a crappy A phase for free veterancy. I know a lot of players would not. I know top tier players are gonna be like, nah, A phase is the most important, and it is. I'm not arguing that point, but I don't know. I think it's worthwhile trade. You can just play balanced. But anyway, yeah. So okay, so we're missing basically everything heavy. So that's not even just like Panthers and stuff. That's Panzer IVs too. So that's pretty intense. Ooh, that's a good picture right there. Panzer Division strength and weakness. All right, here we go into detail. Keep note that all of 2nd Panzer units will have one. All 2nd Panzer, every single one. Wow, that's pretty nuts actually. So you're gonna get 9 Panzergrens at 1 vet instead of 6. That means you can take so few cards of things because you're just like getting so much at higher veterancy. Like you're just gonna double vet everything, right? Because then you get 6 at double vet, right? So this division is just like it's all double vet. Oh my god, it's so good. Like it's just so good. A good amount of slots and unit availability plus reasonable cost. All right, okay, cool. It will allow the player to fight a cavalry action in combat phase A while the big guns are waiting to be unleashed. Players can make good use of the 2nd Panzer's excellent recon division with Pumas, 25 Pumas. Okay, now that's probably not in-game number. That's just how many historically were there. But 25, cool. And all the armor cars and light half tracks of the Panzer Division's table of organization and equipment. That means probably SBW 222s and 231s and stuff like that. This is only 1 out of 2 divisions with a full strength Puma complement. Yeah, so that's definitely a big plus. That really helps your A phase a lot. Again, calling A phase crappy and then having crap tons of armor cars to work with, it's probably not as weak as it appears. Okay, infantry, an average category. While there are a good number of slots, they quickly become more expensive. I think that's fine. You can find a full complement of regular infantry, plus a few Volksdeutschen. They were reported to be the main share of deserters once the division was in combat, but regardless, quite a few of these troops were found in the division. So this could give this division a couple of cheap troops to fight with. Now, I'm assuming these are the same as Volksdeutsch. I don't know why they threw the Deutschen on the end of it. My German speakers tell me if I'm totally off base here, but I think these are just Volksdeutsch, and Volksdeutsch are solid. There's nothing. If these are like the actual Volksdeutsch with the double MG34s and stuff that are basically cheap Panzergrens, those are phenomenal. So we'll have to see, but if that's what those are, then that's an even better sign. And again, remember, all of these units are coming in with 1 extra veterancy. So like the fact that the slots get more expensive almost doesn't matter because you don't need to bring in as many infantry. You just don't, because like A phase, you can bring in a 1 vet card of Panzergrens and still have 9 of them. So you almost don't need to bring 2, which would give you 12. So you're down 3, big whoop. You can probably get by with 9 Panzergrens and then a card of CQC stuff and then a leader. And now instead of needing 4 cards in A phase, you only need 3. So it's just like, or you could just do the normal thing, but everything's double vetted now and it's very strong. Tank, a good category, I would hope, but the arrival of units staggered. Yeah, the major drawback, no unit is available in combat phase A. So there are no tanks in A phase, but it's not as bad as Corporal. Like Corporal has only T-70s in A phase, and T-70s are fine, but you only get 5 of them unvetted, and they're certainly not holding the line down. Pumas and SDKFZs and SBWs, those things hold the line. Like those can absolutely bully opponent's armor. Like a whole bunch of Pumas in A phase can easily kill off Panthers, I mean, not Panthers, Panzer IVs and, and Shermans and stuff. I mean, they struggle against them, but they certainly can. So anyway, second Panzer is a full complement of Panzer IV Js and Hs. So you get the cheap Js if you want them, as well as Panther As and G variants. So no Panther Ds, just Panther As and Gs. You can also deploy Stug G. Okay, Stug 3G drawn from the Abteilung 301. How did they make this division go? How do they make this little regiment go into literally every division? I swear to God, I swear I see it everywhere. A company of the battalion was permanently attached to the division. The rest was sent to the Eastern Front just prior to D-Day. Oh, maybe it was a different Abteilung. Excuse me. The single company fought together with 2nd Panzer through the entire campaign. So you get all kinds of great tanks. I mean, really, there's no super heavies. There's no like King Tiger or anything, but those aren't, at least in 1v1, are not a big deal. Obviously, if you're playing 10v10 or something, yeah, that sucks. But it sounds like you're gonna get tons of Panthers, like all you could ever need. Support tab, standard category, includes no less than 3 cards, so 36 individual units altogether, of the Beauregard. This is such a meme unit. That's the remote controlled bomb that tries in. Now, I will say, I don't know what live stream it was, but it was many months ago. But I was playing, I think it was 11th SS. No, they don't have it. Or do they? No, it was 21st. I think it was 21st Panzer. And I did try that thing. And truthfully, it did slap. Like, when I got it in range, it insta-kills everything. Like, everything within that ring goes away. So, like, in a tight town or something, it actually can be kind of good, maybe? Like, it's a very specific situation. But, I mean, if you can get that meme unit to work, it slaps pretty hard. It's pretty fun. So yeah, I mean, it's not relevant to whether this division is good or not, but if standard category hopefully means like some guerrillas or IG-33s, usually MG-42 complement and that kind of stuff. And if you get some Sturmpanzers or something, that'd be great. They don't mention here. Usually that's a unit they would mention specifically, so probably not. AT, pretty average, but does feature a full complement of Jagdpanzer 4s from Combat Phase B. This unit replaces the older Martyr or Stug 3Fs. Yeah, that's really strong. I mean, Jagdpanzer 4s are really good, especially against Allied divisions. Allied divisions absolutely struggle to kill this unit. No medium tank in the Allied arsenal can kill it. Even good ones like the Sherman 76, that struggles even because its penetration is the same as the armor on the Jagdpanzer 4. So at max range, it basically can't. Even like the T-34-85 can struggle because it's got 145 millimeters pen versus the 130 millimeters of armor. So, at range, this Jagdpanzer 4 usually still wins because they have a nice 145 millimeters of penetration themselves. So, Jagdpanzer 4 is a really strong unit. I personally really enjoy, and it's nice to see it in another division. Oh, these are very like thin descriptions. For other divisions, it was like fat every single unit described, and this is like one sentence. Once again, pretty nondescript for the AA. Towed or half-track self-propelled anti-air pieces are available from Combat Phase A, but the Gepard only from B on. Wait, what? So towed and half-track self-propelled anti-air pieces are available from Combat Phase A. Okay, so like towed or half-track self-propelled. Okay, but the Gepard only from B phase onward. Towed or half-track. But in the description up here, they talk about flak panzers and stuff. So I guess they're just not counting it. I went up too far. I guess they're just not counting. So right here, flak panzer. So I guess they're just not counting the flak panzer since it's not a half-track or a towed unit. Yeah, so you get towed and half-track. Hopefully flak 43. That would be much stronger than like a flak 36. They apparently had the best of the best, so flak 43 would be the best thing you could get in terms of towed. Half-track, self-propelled, but the Gepard only from B onward. So, okay, so you can... Okay, I get it. So you can only bring like a flak 43 in A phase. You can't bring them in B phase. Because at that point, then the flak panzers come in and stuff, and you can start using those. I assume that's what it means. I don't know if that includes like an SDK of Z71 or not. But yeah, so that's at least how it reads to me. That's a very confusing way to word that. Artillery, standard category for Panzerdivision, except the Hummel and the West arise in B phase only. I mean, that's fine. How often are you calling those things in an A phase? Very rarely, especially a Hummel. A Hummel is just not I mean, they're not great to start. You usually don't take a West when you have to. The Hummel is fine. It definitely needs an arty leader to help it out. Air, one of the most distinct worst categories in this division. Only a few Focke-Wulf 180. Is that supposed to say 190? I don't remember a 180. Am I having a moment? In the fighter and fighter bomber roles. Focke-Wulf 190, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. I just don't remember 180. Maybe I'm just being stupid. Focke-Wulf 189, maybe? No. Is that a mistype? I don't even know. Some Ju-88 heavy bombers and bombers. I mean, if you have to get Focke-Wulf 198s, then it doesn't even matter. Those are phenomenal. So the second Panzer Division is a full-strength tank division featuring a full complement of heavy-hitting armored units. The division's drawbacks are the late deployment of some of the heavier troops and a serious deficiency in air cover. That's very dependent, though, again, on how your AA actually is. You have flak panzers, which means it's probably pretty good, honestly. And remember, the flak panzers come in with extra veterancy, right? Because they said all units. So technically speaking, they should have pretty phenomenal AA starting in B phase. Although if you get like flak 43s in A phase with one vet automatically, and you can double vet them to 2 and still have 2 of them, that's also really good. So again, it really kind of depends on how they structure this whole everybody gets extra veterancy thing, because that is really, 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 really strong. Just like it was really strong with Big Red 1. I'm not going to like act like this is not possibly way overpowered. This division obviously is suffering from some phase locking, but not a lot. Not like a ton. Not getting your tanks early sucks, but you have the Pumas and stuff to really hold down the fort in A phase. It's not like you're going to be actually out completely in A phase, like say again, like Corporal, where you just don't have armor in A phase. But this division seems like it could be really good. I mean, none of the infantry seem unique, but this mix, if these are like normal Volkdeutsch, could be very strong. I mean, you get your usual Panzergrenz and stuff, mixed with some Volkdeutsch. As long as you get enough like Sturm Pioneers to work with and stuff to get your CQC filled out, it's not going to be phenomenal. No Panzer division has like phenomenal infantry, but this one, the standard ones do okay. And especially if you're sporting with tons of half tracks and stuff and SDKs and thing, it can be very, very strong. But yeah, and if you guys enjoyed this, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider checking out the Patreon down below. Thanks a bunch, and let's keep getting hyped. Have a fantastic day.